sleep here in bed all alone, waiting for the beautiful beauty that is you. Oh, my love, how I miss the great days when we ride on the plains of España, you on my side, on my back, and we ride into the sunset of Spain. Ah, how I miss you, darling. How I like to pick you up and throw you. Ah, what? Ah, my beautiful darling. You know what? My darling is in bed with me as well, right here. Darling! Oh, no, this is my other darling. There you are. Ah. My love, mi amor. How many times I missed you. I missed you so much, but now we are together. And I want you to stay with me for the rest of my life. Will you stay with me as well, my darling? Yes, yes I will. Anyway. Where is my other darling? Darling, other darling. Oh. Unfortunately, I don't have my other darling. You know what the most amazing darling is? No, not that one. Not this one. It's gold. Oh, gold, mi amor. The best love of my life. The shiny, soft touch of the gold. Ah, my love. I shall dream of nice dreams of my love. I tell you what, since you are all here, and since alarm clocks have not been invented, can you give me my wake-up call when the rooster crows, yes? See? Yes. Excellent. Tomorrow is a big day. We go and register Francisco Pizzaro's voyage to the New World, a great voyage by sea. It's going to be a great day. Anyway, I must sleep now. Good night.
Go steal his blanket. Go steal his blanket. Pull it off him. Go steal his blanket.
I'm up. Oh, today is the big day, my friends. Today is where we leave by ship to Francisco Pizzaro's voyage. Oh, I'm so excited, yes. It's going to be a great day for me. Hooray! So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Stone to Steam. I'll take you through all of human history from beginning up until present times. And today we go all the way back to Renaissance Spain, in the year AD 1532. And so over here, I'm a typical conquistador. Fortunately, I had a very rough dreams last night, rough sleep that my things coming loose. There we go, that's better. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, in our last installment, we followed the story of Gaucamaya, the Inca, and his journey with his lovely llamas. And of course, he received a visit from an alien. So today, Stone to Steam, in this Wednesday performance, we follow the story of that alien, the other perspective of the story. And that alien, of course, as we know, is the Spanish Conquistadors. So, back in 1532 was a great year for Spain. That was when Francisco Pizzaro, the greatest conquistador of all time. I know I'm a bit biased, but he's my great leader. Pizarro, I want to be just like him. And so Pizarro left for Peru in search of gold, riches, and glory. But before we understand the time that led up to this, we first need to know a bit of the history of Spain. Some of you might recall on one of my shows that we looked at what was called the Reconquista records, the biggest war in history. Spain, as of 1532, had recently come out of 800 years of fighting the Moors out of their land. The Moors were, of course, the Islamic Caliphate that had established administrative control in Spain. Did you know that the Moors, when they controlled Spain, they called Spain Al-Andalus? So Al-Andalus was what Spain was known for many years. Of course, the Christian Spanish would go on a crusade to retake Spain from the Moors. But I tell you not, my friends, back then there wasn't this notion of Spain. Yes, you go back to perhaps Roman times, and the Romans gave Spain the name Hispaniola. But after the collapse of Rome, Spain would be a fragment of what it used to be. And all the way fast forward to the 1400s, and this is the last stronghold of the Moors. They've been being pushed south and south year by year. And so come the 1400s, and a momentous event in Spanish history happened. The uniting of the Spanish kingdoms, Castile and Aragon. Castile and Aragon united with the marriage of Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand. And their unity in marriage was the final blow in what they needed to kick out the Moors from Spain. And so now Spain had only been an idea in the twinkle of the eye of the kings that have gone before. But finally, with the marriage of the king and the queen, Spain was now the Spanish empire as we know today. And another thing you must also know is a certain man named Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus was actually from Italy, and he theorized that you could go west, in your perspective, you could go west and reach India. And he realized that, you know, the world for all of throughout the Middle Ages, the Europeans had been going through all the way past the south of Africa, or going on the Silk Road across Europe and Asia, or the Suez route. And he thought there must be a better, less treacherous way. He theorized that the world was actually pear-shaped. And this was already way before Nicholas Copernicus. And he theorized that if you sailed around this pear-shaped world, you could reach India if you leave the west from Spain. And so, Christopher Columbus wanted to fund an expedition to go and discover this new trade routes to India. He applied to many, many kings, and with no luck. He even applied to the King of England. But did you know that the King of England thought, oh, this is such a waste. This will be a big disaster, a waste of resources. Go look somewhere else. And so, imagine if how history would have been different if the English king had accepted Columbus's patronage. South America might have been English today. But anyway, it would be that Columbus then found his way to Spain. And he applied to King and Queen Isabella and Ferdinand for patronage to fund a voyage to go and discover this new route. They liked the idea, they were absorbed and grabbed by it, but they did realize that this would be very expensive and a big gamble. He might as well, for all we know, sail right off the edge of the earth. And he would spend literally a couple of years waiting and even having to fight his arguments to go on his journey to the west. And the church also gave him a lot of problem, thinking such a voyage would be blasphemous. No one has ever gone that far. But nonetheless, after about 2 years, the King and Queen of Spain finally conceded, and Christopher Columbus was given command of the Santa Maria, which was a beautiful, lovely ship, and another 2 ships, all crewed, to go on a voyage to the west. And so, of course, Columbus discovered in the name of Spain, well, what would actually be the Americas. And did you know that Columbus, well, he thought he landed in India. So that is why he called the people over there the Indians. And that is why even till this day, the islands to the east of America and the Caribbean are called the West Indies. And did you know that Columbus died not knowing he had actually reached the Americas? He'd always sworn and thought it was actually India he'd landed in. But nonetheless, because of this great discovery, the word rang out to all of Spain that there were some new, beautiful lands up for grabs, wealth beyond your dreams. And so men like Hernan Cortes and Francisco Pizzaro would fund trips to go and voyage into the New World, to go and well, get rich. And so this is the time that we're in now. Another last fact is, did you know there was actually an explorer who first found the Americas named 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐀 So that's where it gets its name from. So that's where it gets its name from. So anyway, we fast forward to the year 1532, and now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Hope you enjoy. All right, we've got to get ready to go on the expedition and to go register for the voyage. All right, so how about we get going? Pack up the bags.
Gerardo?
Oh, yes, mother.
Where are you going?
Don't worry, mother. I'm going on to go to the shops to buy some things for the pig farm.
Oh, Gerardo, please bring me back some pig's feet, all right?
I will, mother. I will. I love you so much. I will see you soon. We're a lovely pig farming family. Did you know that Pizzaro himself was also a pig farmer as well? We need the gold. We can't live like this anymore in this pig farm, literally sleeping in a mud. Anyway, a long journey awaits, so we better be going. Goodbye, mother.
Goodbye, Gerardo.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to quickly set up the stage and then we will resume afterwards, alright?
Thought you were gonna sneeze. I just realized he literally took the other side off. Who does that? Wayne does, apparently.
Smell that lovely sea air of the coast. We're nearly there, huh? I just thought. I see a lot of eager faces to go and get riches. You all want to get riches and gold and glory?
Yes.
We need all the able-bodied hands we can get. So would you guys like to join the expedition, huh?
Yes.
All right, I will need some volunteers, yes? Put up your hands if you want to join Pizzaro's expedition. All right, you there? Come up. Great, stand by my side here. You as well. Come on up, mi amigo.
Sorry.
And you as well.
Yay.
All right, and also you. You have what it takes to go on a harrowing voyage. I tell you not, my friends. We leave Spain today, and we might not never return back. But it is a chance for glory and riches beyond the imagination. And it will all be worth it, all right? Yes, my explorers and adventurers? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Well, I'm a little bit nervous. Anyway, we must go find the dock master and register for the expedition, all right? How do you look for him? Don't know what he looks like.
Amen. Who is this over here? Come. You all want to come to Francisco Pizzaro's voyage, huh? Come. All right. Stand in a line. So you're all here for Pizzaro's voyage, yes? I see. Okay. Fine. First one, step up. Name? I realized I forgot. I don't know how to write. You will be, I will draw your face. You will be the cute one. The cute one. Okay, back of the line. Next. Name? You will be the funny one. You will be the tall one. Next, you will be the taller one. All right. Welcome on board, Francisco Pizzaro ship. Come on board, climb on board. Watch your step. Yes, watch your step. Right. Name, Gerardo the Conquistador. What did you say, senor? Gerardo the Conquistador. Okay. Gerardo the Conquistador. You will be the ugly one. Sorry, I'm a bit late, my friends. I had a bit of trouble at the register. Anyway, so my friends, welcome aboard the ship of Francisco Pizzaro. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, come gather by me, this side. Come to my right. So, commandeering a ship is a very hard job, and we need to prove to Pizzaro that we can run this ship nicely. If we don't run it nicely, we get lost. And we make Columbus's voyage look like it was easy, right? So, first of all, here, ladies and gentlemen, is the rudder. The rudder is, you turn like this, left, or if I say right, you turn right, right? Right?
Okay.
Well, I'm a bit worried about this, but I think we'll do well. Alright, next up. Come over here, gather around here. Right, little bit more back. Like this. So this over here are the sails. So how to work the sails is when I say, for the sails, you take this and you move like this, right? Like this. Right? Like this, so you want to try close? Right, try yourself. Go. So try close it, yes? Good. Alright, follow me, next station. This over here is the compass. Without the compass, we get lost at sea, alright? Very important instrument. So how to work the compass is you take the magnet, yes? And you move compass around like this. Like this, you twist and move around, right? Like this. Right? The magnet, yes. Simple enough, yes? Understand?
Yes.
Right. So what I'm going to do is while we're sailing, I'm going to yell a command and you have to go to the station and do it. If you don't do it, the ship sinks, alright? We'll find out, and we don't want to find out now, do we?
No.
Exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, all aboard! Prepare to set sail! All right, everybody, you're ready for the stations. You all do it together, right? Stick together. It's a hard work, all right? No, I mean you stick together, yes? You do one station at a time. You can't multitask. It's very tough. You're new. You need each other's help. All right, casting off! Right, we're coming. All right, steer the rudder left. That's too much left, right. Anyway, all right, navigate the compass. Go. Navigate the compass. You got the compass. Draw the sails. Come on, draw the sails. Do it up. Excellent. Now go steer left. Now set the compass. Looks like we're headed south. What is going on? Oh, quickly! Close the sails. We're headed in for a storm. Right, now steer left.
Since we left Spain. Well, thank goodness I was wearing these. Well, my friends, is this it? Oh no, it's just Central America. We have to now bash down the ship, travel across the land, rebuild it so we can then sail for Peru. Yes?
Can we just go around?
We have to do this. That's what Cortés did. Alright, dismantle the ship and bring other side to land. Bring, dismantle. Watch it, watch your heads. Bring the ship, dismantle. That's it, better. And bring the other thing, bring. That's better. Like this one, yes. Under it. Don't hammer it, son, alright? We forgot the floor of the ship now. How is this going to work? That's good enough. I think we'll make it to Peru in this wreck. Alright. Oh, the sail. Where's the sail?
Over there.
Oh. Does it help me lift?
Magic.
Okay, ready to lower, I say. Lower.
What's that?
Good as new. Alright, so ladies, my friends, right. So, good, now we build the ship, so where were we? Oh yes! Now we get the compass! Now steer left! Now steer right! Now pull the sail to the sea land! I see land! Is everybody alright?
No.
Oh no, we have a sailor lost! Come on up!
This is the second one. Look at the lights.
Alright, sailors, gather to me this side. Anyway, let's quickly move the ship aside, then we continue, alright?
Again.
This side. Come to me, my sailors. Sounds like we're in the jungle, the thick of the jungle. Anyway, I'm not afraid of the jungle. We just need to find Francisco Pizzaro and reunite with him, alright? Alright, expedition, follow me. Someone carry the matchlock, you tallest one. Right, follow me. Shh, we don't want the Incas to hear us. I forgot to load the musket. Good. The Incas would have heard that, right? Keep following me. I think we're nearly there. I can already smell the sweat of the conquistadors. Follow me.
I heard something. But you guys stay here. Right is loaded. Only fire when I say fire, all right? Incas. I see the Incas over there. Hey, only fire when I say fire. What are they doing? Are those bunnies? You have an army of bunnies. You have to be careful, right?
So, where was I? Oh yes, this lovely spit meal. My llamas, thank you so much for preparing this lovely spit meal. I need to add some spice as well. My name is Gerardo, and I claim this land in the name of Francisco Pizzaro and the King and Queen of Spain. Are you a god? What? Huh? Never mind. I've been on a long journey through the jungles, braving through rainstorms, heat, and... So you are a god? Shush! Quickly, we must prepare some food. These Incas. Anyway, I've braved the open sea, faced true thirst, wrestled a snake with my bare hands. Have some beans, and have some beans. What is this? Have some beans. Oh, the god doesn't like beans. Maybe some corn. ¿Qué está pasando? Huh? ¿Qué está pasando? Yeah, have some corn. Have some corn, god. I don't want this. God doesn't like corn too. A llama. How about a llama? Yes, no, have a llama, I don't want this as well. Listen, have a drink. How about a drink then? Yes, how about a drink? Have a drink. Senor Inca, as much as I like all these offerings of yours, there are things I need much more. Pizzaro will kill me if I return empty-handed. And those maracas of yours won't pay for the expedition and all this armor. Speaking of which, I need to polish it. Oh, not again. Wait, what are you wearing? That jewelry there, what is it? It's nothing, it's just gold. But we have so much of it, it's worthless. We have so much. Right, I think the god wants the gold. Alright, here we go. Hooray, hooray, I'm rich! Bye bye, Inca!
Look what I found! Look what I found! Oh, stop pointing that at me! Look what I found! Look what the Incas gave me! Gold, jewelry! Look, we can share it amongst ourselves! How's this look on me, huh?
I think it would be a good pose.
But I just polished it. Anyway. Well, my friends, we need to go back to Pizzaro, right? Come on, stand up, let's go!
I get go.
This way. You know,
all of this journey makes me very thirsty. You know what? The Inca gave us a drink. Ah, yes, this is true. Yes. You don't like the drink? Let's have one. I want you to your toast for the gold all at the same time. Right? Yes, yes. All right. This is to toast the great Francisco Pizzaro and the gold. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of our show. Thank you for coming. All right, my volunteers, you'll make our sit down. Give them a round of applause.
Something died.
Stuck a feather in his cap and called it macaroni.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, of course, this was part 2 to our last week's show. So, of course, this was part 2 to last week's show. So, the punchline, unfortunately, you have to have seen last week's show to get the punchline. Anyway, will we all be on YouTube? But anyway, thank you so much for coming. And yes, it is true. Pizzaro conquered the Incas in 1532, that's when he left. And it's not to be confused with Hernan Cortes, who conquered the Aztecs in 1522.
Why didn't we mix them up?
So literally, a whole 10 years after the Aztecs were conquered by Hernan Cortes, all 10 years, only then did Pizarro come in from Spain, and he initiated the conquest of the Inca Empire. At first, they were actually very diplomatic, and when, of course, the Incas first saw the conquistadors, it is true, they thought they were gods with all their shiny armor. And so, of course, thinking that they were gods, they wanted to give them gifts and gifts and gifts, corn, beans, food only from South America. But of course, the Spanish eventually saw that, well, gold was worthless to the Incas, and so they came for the gold. And gold they came and they took. And of course, the Spanish initiated the conquest, and it would only take about 2 years to topple the Inca Empire, in fact less than 2 years. However, the Inca Empire would initiate a long struggle against the Spanish all the way until the 1570s. Only in the 1570s did the last suffering Inca, the Inca Emperor, capitulate. So the Inca Empire actually lasted much longer than the Aztec Empire, and covered a lot more area. But yes, the Spanish came in and took the gold and eventually put their stronghold in all of South America. And they would force the Incas to work on the silver mines. And there was lots of silver in Peru, and they found that they needed silver to refine the gold to bring it all back to Spain. But interestingly enough, all this gold that went to Spain would end up in Spain and make Spain filthy rich. But this also caused inflation to skyrocket. And well, of course, when there's so much silver, it becomes valueless. And Spain ended up spending all this money on costly wars and petty feuds with other nations, and eventually it squandered all of its wealth, and it became yet another backward nation as the dawn of the 1600s came along. So this is why I've acknowledged this piece of Spanish history, because this is the golden age of the Spanish Empire. Come the early 1500s, 1532, this is when Spain was at its height, when it said what happened. And its currency was the de facto currency of Europe throughout the whole of the early 16th century, the 1500s. And that's, sadly enough, was all at the expense of the Inca Empire. So ladies and gentlemen, you'll be wanting to also know about the attire wear, so I thought that I would also explain the attire. And please do join me at the table of history at the end of the show for a little bonus at the end. So I'll see you there. But for now, we're going to explain the attire of the conquistador first. I also realized that last week I didn't explain the Inca attire. I forgot, silly. But it's all on my YouTube channel, so also have a look at the YouTube and you'll find my Inca attire over there. Now we're going to take a quick look at the Spanish attire. So you guys are probably wondering, what is this strange helmet that the conquistadors wore? So this is called the Kovimorian helmet. And it also is actually a very interesting link to the own past in Spain. Remember all those years of fighting the Moors for their own very land for 800 years? Well, Kovimorian is where it gets its name from. They theorized that this helmet was actually of Moorish design, and the Spanish copied it later, and it's called cone because it has a comb on top to give it extra strength, so the 𝐿𝐴𝐻. Going further down, I'm sure some of you have noticed my lovely frills. So these were all the height of fashion. There we go, yes.
I can make some for you if you like, you just have to pay me some gold.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Boo.
I'll do anything for gold.
And so anyway, the frills were the height of fashion during the Renaissance. So this is, of course, the era of the Renaissance. The rebirth in Europe, where they'd rediscovered lots of Rome's records and ways of doing art. And all the artists would copy the Roman style of art and all those Roman statues. And so that's what's called the Renaissance, the rebirth. That's literally what it translates into French. And so, of course, in the Renaissance, they loved frills. Even men wore frills like this. So your conquistadors literally would wear just the typical attire of the time. Generally, the conquistadors were very poor. Look at Francisco Pizzaro. He was actually a pig farmer before he left for Peru. And it was through this desperate drive in poverty that would draw them into the New World to seek riches and glory. So your typical conquistador would actually be very poor. And as we saw in the beginning, Gerardo, this is his love of his life. Literally, he would have paid every cent he could have gotten to making this. And this is all he owns, and it's his very life. And of course, the idea of riches in the New World would draw any man who was a pig farmer back in Spain. And so that was your typical conquistadors. Of course, I've rolled up my sleeves because Peru can get very hot. And going further down, you're probably noticing these over here. So these are my powder charges. And how it works is once you fire the matchlock, then what you do is you take the powder charge and, first of all, you would load your ball and wadding.
I won't actually load it, my friends, don't worry, I don't want to kill anyone. Unless you have gold, then I might load it for real.
So they'd load in their lead ball and the wadding to keep it in. And then what they would do is,
Silly me, I haven't found them so long. You first pour the powder charge.
So they would take their full powder charge, pour it down the barrel. This contains gunpowder. Then they would load their ball in, and then they would put the wadding. And then they would take a long, what they call a scouring stick, and ram it down home. And after they've rammed it, they would take an extra charge of powder, prime it into the opening over here. They would close the opening. And of course, matchlocks would have a small little burning rope, where it gets its name from, matchlock. It would be a burning match or rope. And this little smoldering rope, when you pull the trigger over here, this little rope would come in contact with the pan and light up that powder that we've put into here, and in turn, light the main charge and launch the ball out. And that's how an arquebus would work. And of course, I don't have the burning rope because I don't want to burn things.
Oh, where did I put that strange future machine? Here it is. I get ahead of myself, never mind. Don't want to burn the place down.
Do it!
Only if you can pay me gold will I do it. Shame, you're not going to get it then.
Yes, my arquebus is actually more of a late 1400s arquebus. The ones that the typical conquistadors carried into South America would be a little bit sleeker, but of course you'd find that many generations would pass down their muskets from father to son. So this would be an heirloom, and that's why it's a more of a late 15th century arquebus. Arquebus is simply what they called muskets before they called them muskets, and they would later evolve into what we call the muskets. Loaded very much the similar way, powder, ball, and ramming it down. And for many centuries, this is how Europe would remain with its guns. So yes, very interesting. And going further down,
these beautiful, lovely pants that somebody, who was it that complimented them, huh? It was you, amigo.
Yes, so these are called breeches, and like I say, the Renaissance,
In the Renaissance,
they loved their puffy pants that they called breeches, and paired with some leggings over here, tights basically. They would literally wear tights with breeches, which complement the typical attire of a man from the Renaissance. And the conquistadors, of course, would wear leather boots into South America. interestingly enough, they would actually, you find many conquistadors swapping out for Inca attire because of the heat. They found that these were more suited to European conditions. However, in my practical archaeology recollections, I find walking in boots is much easier than sandals, woven sandals that the Incas used. So, I don't know, maybe I just haven't experienced the heat of Peru. Hard to say. I should do a march in Peru and then feel what that's like. But yes, that's about it. Oh, and last thing over here. On my back, I carry some extra rope for my matchlock. So yes, this of course is what I would use to attach to the musket and smolder it and burn. So just some extra rope in case I run out. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, any questions about tonight's show about the Spanish Empire and the conquest? Yes, over there.
Since the rope is on your back and you wind it, wouldn't the rope burn the clothes?
This is spare rope.
Oh,
So conquistadors would often carry spare rope with them, but they would keep their main rope that's in use attached to their muskets.
So you just take off the rope when they have
And when I've run out, because like I say, it's constantly smoldering, so getting shorter and shorter. And they would of course dip it in like oil, so it would burn after a long time. But yeah, they would slowly be burning. This is the problem about muskets, is you have to have a burning rope the whole time if you want to shoot. So often the conquistadors would have someone with a fire continuing, and as soon as they get into conflict, say the Incas are advancing along, they'd all line up, get to the arms maker, get their matchlocks lit up, and then they'd get into formation and ready to fire and fire. So yes, yeah, any other questions? Yes, over there, my sailor.
What is this?
What is what?
The leather.
Oh, the leather. Oh, this is to keep my sword up. So this is for my sword. Where is my sword?
The sword is right there.
My love!
Oh.
My love of my life, mi amor! I failed you. You were so wonderful, you served me well, and you had to break it. Oh, it's fixed now. So yes. So yes, of course I would keep my sword in here, like this. And yes, I must actually get to the sword now. So funny enough about the sword, remember the Norman sword that I used when I was a Norman knight and the Crusaders? These are big thick swords, you remember it? So how swords evolved throughout the Middle Ages is they began in the early medieval days. They would have big chunky swords. Think of the Vikings, think of the Normans, nice and big and long, that they used to hack at the enemy. And especially in the 1200s was the height of thick swords. You look at all the 13th century 1200 swords, and they were very thick. They could be up to this thick compared to that. And they'd use it to hack at armor and chainmail. But as armor began to evolve from chainmail into plate armor, they found that you can't hack at plate armor. And so swords naturally evolved alongside the armor into thinner swords, what we call a rapier or a cutlass. And think about the pirates. This is now beginning with the pirate era of swords. They would also curve their swords too. Some keep them straight, some were longer, some were shorter, but this is my homemade version of a rapier from the time. At least, ready to fight! Parry, thrust! And of course, this is how they would fight in the 16th century. Very much a fencing style, that's where it comes from. And so this is the rapier cutlass. My love. Anyway, any last questions before we go to the table? Anything about the short Spanish Empire? Or forever hold your peace? Or your gold? Excellent, it means you're listening very well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please join me now in 1 minute at the table. I'll explain what I brought you today, and that should take about 5-10 minutes. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Muchas gracias.